Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, honored guests. Welcome to this afternoon's Convocation ceremony as we celebrate graduates, or soon-to-be graduates, they're currently graduands, of the degree, diploma, and certificate programs in our faculties of Fine Arts and Communication and Health and Community Studies. At this time, I'd like to acknowledge the very talented group of individuals behind me who, under the direction of Assistant Professor Raymond Burry, comprise of MacEwan University Big Band. Let's give them a big round of applause for their performance this afternoon. We will begin the official program in just a few moments. In preparation for doing so, I'd like to remind you the Winspear Center is an acoustically responsive hall. Therefore, we ask if you are carrying any electronic devices with you today that you take a moment now to turn those off or to at least place them on vibrate for the duration of the ceremony. If you're traveling with small children and your little ones become restless during the ceremony itself, just want to kind of let you know that just outside of the main doors on each of the levels, there are monitors that you can continue to watch the ceremony unfold this afternoon should you need to take a break with your little ones. The university has arranged for a professional photographer to take photos of graduates as they're crossing the stage this afternoon and receiving their parchments. Information on how to obtain those photos will be forwarded to graduates at a later date. I'm sure you noticed that when you passed through the foyer this afternoon, you probably saw the MacEwan University Alumni kind of backdrop area, a nice big green screen out there. We certainly encourage you, if you've not already done so, to make use of that space to take pictures of your graduates or of the family as a reminder of this special occasion. If you would like to take photos of your graduates as they're crossing the stage today, you're certainly welcome to do so. We just ask that you would congregate to your right of the stage, my left, and there are probably about 10 or 15 people in advance of when your son or daughter is expected to cross the stage. And take your photos, and then we just ask that you return to your seats shortly thereafter. It can become congested in the area. Ushers will be there to assist if available. Finally, today is indeed a wonderful and celebratory event as we recognize the achievements of the students here at MacEwan University. But before we begin, we have time for one more performance, and the MacEwan University Big Band will perform the vocal ballad called Memories. This was written by Bachelor of Music alumnus Andrew Reed. It was written in 2015 in recognition of the first graduating class of the Bachelor of Music in Jazz and Contemporary Popular Music, and it now remains as a part of our lasting legacy for the university and our convocation exercises. Ladies and gentlemen, the MacEwan University Big Band.
All of the time that drifted by so fast, all of these moments just so we could say at last, the page has turned and a new chapter has begun. All of our stories that fill up every page, all of our laughter that echoes through each age. This chapter ended, but this book is far from done. There will be days that go on by where we can't help but be reminded of this place we called home, if only for a while. Oh, the people we've met, we will never forget. Every talk, every hug, every friend, every smile. All of your memories of every smiling face. All of your dreams that have brought you to this place. May they live on forever in your heart. There will be days that go on by where we can't help but be reminded of this place we called home, if only for a while. Oh, the people we have met, we will never forget. Every talk, every hug, every friend, every smile. All of your memories of every smiling face. All of your dreams that have brought you to this place. May they live on forever in your heart.
Let's keep it going. One more big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, MacEwan University Big Band. At this time, I'm pleased to introduce this afternoon's mace bearer, Denise Roy, Assistant Professor and Department Chair of Arts and Cultural Management. Ms. Roy, who will be leading the stage party, is carrying the university mace, which was donated to the university in 1997 by its namesake, Dr. Grant MacEwan, and became the official mace in 2008. It is especially meaningful to the university as it was hand-carved by Dr. MacEwan. Further information on the mace and other Convocation traditions can be found in your Convocation program. The university's faculty will be led this afternoon by Distinguished Proctor Deborah Elliott, a university advisor in the Department of Music. Finally, during the student processional, the Indigenous drumming group Poundmaker will perform an honor song. At this time, I would ask that you please rise and remain standing for the academic processional.
Thanks to Poundmaker for an impressive procession. Protocol for Poundmaker was offered earlier today. Good afternoon, graduates, distinguished guests, members of the stage party, faculty, staff, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David McLaughlin, and I am the Marshal of Convocation. MacEwan University acknowledges that the land in which we gather in Treaty 6 territory is a traditional gathering place for many Indigenous people. We honor and respect the history, languages, ceremonies, and cultures of the First Nations, Métis, and Inuit who call this territory home. Please remain standing, and in respect, remove all hats except mortarboards for the singing of our national anthem, led by Mr. David Unsworth.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Thank you, Mr. Unsworth. Please be seated. I declare MacEwan University Convocation open. At this academic ceremony, we will honor our 2019 graduates by conferring degrees, diplomas, and certificates, and recognizing outstanding achievements. We are honored to have you present with us on this occasion. I will introduce members of the stage party. Members of the stage party, please remain standing once you have been called upon. Members of the audience, please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. We start with Board of Governors Representative Megan DeRue McConnon, President and Vice Chancellor Dr. Deborah Saucier, Provost and Vice President Academic Dr. Craig Monk, and General Faculties Council Vice Chair Raymond Buree. Next, Board of Governors, Vice Presidents. I now ask Deans and Associate Vice Presidents, Associate Deans, and the remaining members of the university's administration. We have representatives from each of our associations, faculty, staff, alumni, and students. Would our Indigenous Knowledge Keeper, Roxanne Tatusis, please rise? Our distinguished speaker. I now ask Mace Bearer Denise Roy to stand and be recognized. Will our distinguished proctor, Deborah Elliott, along with all faculty and staff of the university, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, this is MacEwan's Spring 2019 Convocation Stage Party. Please join me in acknowledging them. Thank you, members of the stage party. You may be seated. I would like to invite Dr. Craig Monk, Provost and Vice President Academic, and Roxanne Tatusis, Indigenous Knowledge Keeper, to the podium. Dr. Monk will recognize and honor the Indigenous Knowledge Keeper, and Roxanne Tatusis will provide the Indigenous Invocation.
Good afternoon, Roxanne.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I'm great. I can't imagine we're here.
So I was wondering, you think I might be talented enough that you could teach me a version of that trill that you do to accompany Poundmaker?
I could definitely teach you. Sagwe.
It's been my honor to spend these 3 days with you, and it's my honor now to offer you protocol for participation in this final convocation ceremony for the year.
Okay. Definitely. Miasin. Hey. I samina kahkio kita tamskat no. Kiminaksin niistä man nisto naskuman sisikapin tungawian wap mauko kahkiota kani potsik steinen naskuman saminuta kapegagi susta matok niistä kami wape kun itsne hewigason hutots pitgona piunega mastaimas kotaski nautsi. So I'm honored to be invited here, and I greet you in my first language, which is the Plains Cree language. Really fortunate to come from the lands of Chief Pondmaker and Big Bear, 3.5 hours east of here, not the treatment center in St. Albert. But I'm so honored that at least at MacEwan that we honor protocol, and I'm honored that this prayer is recognized because through Indigenous worldview, it's always really important that we have the capability to smudge, and I light the buffalo sage here to cleanse the sacred space. And the protocol that's presented to me, tobacco is the key for us that opens that spiritual doorway to Creator God, Allah, Buddha. And this prayer cloth that's offered to me is for the blessings for all people, especially the graduates today on this day of immense celebration. And so as an Indigenous people, we are spiritual people at the beginning of time, and we are still spiritual people in the practice of these traditions. And today, I feel really honored that I can stand here and honor my late Chief Pondmaker, who was exonerated on May 23rd of this year for having wrongfully, thank you, for having been wrongfully tried for treason and felony. So I'm hopeful that I see these students here today, that they can write those history books and be more I'm more hopeful that the truth, as uncomfortable as they may be about our histories, that they may be told in a way that's going to be educational for all people. And so with that, I'm going to honor this tobacco that's been offered to me. And the shrill that I do and the drumming songs that you hear are sacred songs. And they go back many generations. But those songs are really sacred to us, and they're to uplift all the people so that we continue to do the good works as a collective. And so it's real honored that, as a Plains Cree woman, that they are honored here today. So with this protocol offering, I invite you to pray with me in the way that's meaningful to each and every one of you as we celebrate together with these graduates. Ai na mamo tawinang se mantu. How na mo sumpanak no kumpanak how gista te yoganak. At tanista mo exkem to go kasaminam stahi. Na nasku tenoma kiksewatsuin ksagituin. Mamo humuta kape taksinia nisnan. Ute na maunani mamtenetskan nan te honan. Exisung gahke ngwe. Pasaguftenan te piauga he miasag utenigan nisnan mamtenein maa kukuta hawa kito simsak. Hawek den isnan kahkio kawietaman stehina naskuman. Ego soemnan exisuma kahke nganiga nastan anoma. Ki mamtenetigan ego no huhe se manto esweona nisnan ngakwe mitsahenan. Exisuma mamo nisnan kakwe gisupig hawasunan. Ispino me miasik Aya, ngeke teunan, waps gonenan. Magekta nisnan, hegagi going on skututen, muinistepe goemswan, magum gekakio guapmao, kista, nisnan, go begon, mamtene. Mamtene tamasunan utenigan. Heuxiniste gagi going on skututen, magektanista, hai kakio kitno. Again, Creator God, I give thanks to you today for the wonderful gift of this wonderful afternoon and for the refreshing rain you bless these lands with. Again, I'm grateful for your love, your kindness, and compassion that you bring these beautiful people here together. I'm grateful, again, always, for all of your creation that so we can coexist in peace and harmony with one another. And I'm so grateful, once again, for these wonderful students who will soon be going out to this vast world to make great changes. I'm again mindful always of those children that are in care and those that are incarcerated. The representation on my skirt is representative, never to forget those missing murdered Indigenous women. And also, I always give thanks that you continue to bless us always so that we can have a better understanding of each other and that we can continue to stand one another as we move forward. With these blessings, I give thanks and I ask that you continue to bless our home fires, bless our journeys, and bless our the pathways that we walk as we continue on from this day. These things I give thanks and I say all my relations. Ai.
Thank you, Ms. Tatusis. Riley Osachuk, our student board member, will read the MacEwan University Invocation.
Good morning. No, that's wrong. Hold on. Let's try that again. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm so happy to be here with you all. All right. Through learning, we flourish and help others to flourish. We stand here today on the brink of important change for ourselves and for the world. Inspired by the past, we now step forward to transform the future. Engaging with others, we cherish the diversity of experience within our communities and ourselves. Through perseverance, we excel. Through compassion, we connect. Through creativity, we thrive. And through knowledge, we grow. Through all this and more, let us forge a legacy to nurture, to inspire, to endure. Moved by this spirit, strong in our knowledge, we move out into the world with open arms, an open mind, and an open heart. We pledge to leave the world better than we found it. Thank you.
Thank you, Riley. MacEwan University's President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Deborah Saucier, will address Convocation.
Welcome, and thank you for being with us this afternoon to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of our graduates today. But before we get to that, I'm supposed to address you, so let's go. How many of you are going to be going somewhere special to celebrate your achievements of today? Maybe it's going to be Jasper, maybe Europe, maybe Thailand, or somewhere even more exotic than that. And while you're there, you'll undoubtedly visit some of the historical treasures of the world. Places like Angkor Wat, the Parthenon, Stonehenge, all monuments that record the aspirations of a people specific to a time and a place. But these are also proof that civilizations come and civilizations go. Civilizations of immense complexity who are capable not only of great feats of engineering, but who were able to amass great resources to leave their mark on the world. But gone they are, to be replaced by others. Why am I bringing this up now? Well, I'm doing that to ask you to think about the civilization that we live in today, and whether or not what we value will persist or if it will be replaced, and the graduates of the future will marvel over things like the CN Tower, Look how quaint it is and how well they did given their tools. Or visit our parliament buildings and wonder why we ever thought democracy was a thing. Because I think that despite the fact that we live in polarized times, and polarized they are, democracy is a thing, and it is a thing to guard closely. Polarization is nothing new. We have been taking sides on issues forever. Black, white, cats, dogs, humanities, sciences. In thinking about these polarized positions, though, I'm just going to take a short detour to 1959, when the physicist, chemist, and novelist C.P. Snow delivered a lecture at Cambridge about polarization. And although he was focused on the divide between the sciences and the humanities, much of what he observed, I think, remains true now. He remarked that the divide between humanists and scientists was so wide that although both groups were made up of highly educated people, that they were unable to understand the basics of what each other held to be true. And that, he remarked, was a source of considerable concern and the source of many problems in what he felt was modern culture. And in the 60 years since that lecture, we have made remarkable progress. Many of the things we take for granted, like I could text you on my watch, rely on this progress. Many great works of literature and fine art have emerged, particularly by authors or artists who would have been largely silenced in the 50s. But beyond these remarkable achievements, how much has really changed since 1959? I would argue that a quick review of your Twitter feed or whatever social media you consume would demonstrate that, beyond cat videos, which are awesome. Oh, you're dog people, I see. That we've entered a new phase of even more polarization. Left, lefter, right, righter. And even less conversation is occurring now, especially among those who hold different points of view. And more troubling to someone like me is the rising public distaste for opinions that are based on education and or the types of knowledge that you graduates went to university to obtain. I wonder if this anti-expert sentiment is the natural consequence of the two solitudes described by Snow. If we can't speak to each other to understand each other, how can we work together to solve the big issues of our times? Which leads me to my second, and in my opinion, the most important point. Your education has taught you to think critically about ideas of all sorts, and it has been sufficiently broad and inclusive so that you can listen and discuss with others and hopefully cross that divide and consider other viewpoints. So please, graduates, take time to listen, especially to those ideas that challenge you, that make you uncomfortable or squishy. And start the conversation about why you disagree or why an idea makes you uncomfortable. And at the same time, expect more of the person on the other side. Make sure that they in turn listen to you and your views. This is at the heart of how democracy works. Ideas are exchanged, they are debated, and if there is enough support, they are adopted into practice. The loudest person should not naturally win. If you remember one thing from my address to you today, graduates, I would ask that you be careful not to be distracted by those loud and angry voices, because you cannot afford to take your eye off the ball. There are real problems. Climate change, for instance, which is real. And emerging problems related to globalization, artificial intelligence, food security. Now, I'm a scientist, and science can help solve some of these problems. And trust me, I have some affection for the methodology. But I would argue that the real solutions to these problems will require all of our voices, speaking to each other, debating with each other. And we will be able to solve those issues if we can do that. Looking out at you all today, I can say that you are our best hope, and that your education will remain your best tool for promoting what our civilization believes to be important, including outrageous ideas like democracy. And one last thing, vote. Please vote. Canadian democracy is depending on you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Saucier. Bracket, insert additional comments as required. Close bracket. No additional comments required. I now ask alumnus Josh Morris to present the Distinguished Alumni Award.
Thank you, Dr. McLaughlin. Good afternoon. Alumni are a university's greatest legacy. Each year, MacEwan recognizes the outstanding contribution and achievement of its graduates through the Distinguished Alumni Award. Established in 1986, this award represents the highest form of recognition our university bestows on an alumnus. With this in mind, it is my pleasure to introduce this year's recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award. Mark Power is a counselor, writer, filmmaker, visual artist, and the founder of the social enterprise Give of Yourself. Throughout Mark's diverse career, he has supported individuals and families through setbacks and seasons of rebuilding. His creative projects, including a series of short documentaries, empower people on journeys of incarceration, reintegration, addiction, and homelessness. As a trusted advisor in youth development, Mark draws on his long-standing relationships in education, mental health, corrections, and community disability services. He advises and supports professionals in developing coaching and mentoring skills for youth and families, and he is masterful at navigating institutional supports and creating innovative outreach programming. Mark currently facilitates in the arenas of mental health, social justice, and restorative coaching. Congratulations, Mark Power.
Thanks, everyone. I'm so shocked but pleased to be here today. And full disclosure, I approached today's assignment of delivering your convocation speech, perhaps similarly to how some of you approached final exams. I waited until the last minute and crammed. I hope I don't disappoint. I'd like to start by expressing my gratitude to MacEwan University, board representatives, President Saucier, Dean McGinn, faculty, and my nominators for this honor. I want to take a few minutes with you this afternoon to speak with you about love and the transformational power of second chances. Since graduating from MacEwan 23 years ago, what I am most proud of is how my career has been distinguished by meaningful and often unlikely friendships. As a filmmaker, I noticed a formula frequently utilized in what I consider to be the most uplifting stories. The formula goes like this: unlikely friendships, overcoming adversity. It's so simple, it's ingenious. Unlikely friendships, overcoming adversity. Think about the greatest unlikely friendships in the movies. Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear to Woody, Shrek to Donkey, Mr. Miyagi to the Karate Kid. Unlikely friendships, overcoming adversity. We connect to this formula because it's transformational and inspiring. About 9 years ago, after a season of personal hardship, you name it, health issues, career pitfalls, the sudden loss of loved ones, it all added up to me becoming a hot mess. As a means to distract myself, I signed up to volunteer with a local reintegration group called the Open Door Project. I thought spending time with people worse off than me might help me, who I thought were worse off than me. The concept of the reintegration group is simple. Along with the community chaplain, a small group of volunteers a small group of volunteer mentors get together on Saturday nights with men and women from local prisons and halfway houses in hopes of helping them to successfully transition back into society. Enter the unlikely friendships in my story. 9 years later, I still meet with the group on Saturday nights. The lifelong friendships I've built within the Second Chance community have enriched my life immensely. A few years ago, funding was cut to the reintegration program. I decided to try to raise money to help ensure our group could continue. Here's where those unlikely friendships move into overcoming adversity. I set out to fundraise by creating a product which could be readily built and taken to weekend markets by the folks from the group. With the money raised, we'd give 100% of the profit back to the program. We came up with the idea of building lamps. Now, these wouldn't be just ordinary lamps. These lamps would be built from broken and discarded materials, iron pipe, scrap wood, whatever we could run a wire through and fasten a light socket to. Taking discarded items and rebuilding them into something new became a metaphor for how we were all becoming repurposed. The company was named This Little Light, and from the get-go, we couldn't build lamps fast enough to meet the demand. It didn't take long for us to exceed the modest financial goals we had set out. With the money we raised, we were able to help keep the program afloat, and we still had plenty of profit left over. We decided to ask the men and women where they would donate the excess money if given the choice. And one of those choices was just to keep the money within our group for leisure activities, dinners, what have you. The men, without hesitating, thought the profits should go to women's shelters. Some had left their wives in a pinch to raise their children alone. Other men explained how they had grown up with a single mother and understood the support single-income families needed. However, one idea from the women's group became a lesson on how to love people preemptively. A few of the women shared their childhood experience of sexual abuse and the pain and shame which contributed to their trauma and addiction. They cited wanting to support an organization called Little Warriors. Little Warriors focuses on the treatment of children who have survived sexual abuse. The women noted how they believed if they could have had access to a program like Little Warriors when they were kids, how this sort of intervention may have prevented them from causing harm or being incarcerated today. And so it began. My unlikely friends, living in prisons and halfway houses, became philanthropists. Donations to both women's shelters and Little Warriors were dispersed from the most unlikely of people. Their generosity demonstrated how we are sometimes called to serve and advise, not in spite of our weakness, but because of our weakness. How often the most compassionate people are those who can look in the mirror and see how much compassion they need for themselves, and in turn extend it to others. I've been so very fortunate to have people trust me with the most vulnerable parts of their story, their greatest fears, their worst decisions. Their vulnerability is indicative of how, at some point, we're all going to need a reminder that we're still lovable, especially when we have failed. How we still have something to give, even when everything seems lost. I want to leave you with one quick lesson I recall from my time at MacEwan. Coursework in family dynamics and counseling allowed me to dive deep into an exploration of who matters most in our lives. One assignment called us to write about the people who helped bring out the best in us. I'd be remiss if I didn't try to somehow impart the same gift while I have this platform. Would you, along with me, take 10 seconds to think about the people who have helped you become who you are. The people who have always believed in you. The people who knew that you'd be here today. They could be sitting beside you. They may be far away. They may no longer be with us. No matter where they are, these people love and care about you unconditionally. If we could pause for 10 seconds and just think about the people who have filled your story with unwavering love. 10 seconds of silence. I'll watch the time. Whomever you've been thinking about, how pleased they must be to know the difference they've made in your life. Congratulations and thank you. Go out there and live a great story.
Thank you, Mark. I now invite Dr. Craig Monk, Provost and Vice President Academic, along with General Faculties Council Vice Chair Raymond Buree, to their respective podia for the presentation of graduands and conferring of credentials.
Riley taught me a valuable lesson earlier. When things don't go at Convocation the way you might expect, you just hide under the podium. That's what they did, and it worked out really well. My reaction to having to follow a thoughtful and provocative address is this. Thank you so much. Graduands, if you are able, please rise. On behalf of the faculties and schools of MacEwan University, I present these graduands and those named in the Convocation program who are not at the ceremony. I ask that they be pledged and admitted to the MacEwan University degrees, applied degrees, diplomas, and certificates which they have earned.
I will ask you now to join in the MacEwan University Graduate Pledge. The pledge is not an oath, but an expression of purpose to which you will respond overwhelmingly, I will. Will you pledge yourself to use the knowledge, experience, and skills you have gained at MacEwan University to serve your community and the world faithfully? I will. Yeah. That's good. That's good. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the province of Alberta, and upon the recommendation of MacEwan University's General Faculties Council, I admit you to your degrees, applied degrees, diplomas, and certificates to which you are entitled, and invest in you all the rights and privileges, powers, and responsibilities pertaining to that credential. Now I bestow upon you this credential as a solemn trust to transform, engage, and improve the world from this day forth, to teach and to learn from others, so that through your learning, we may all flourish. Thank you. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Monk and Mr. Buree. Our marshals will now usher the graduates to the stage. I would ask the graduates to return to their seats after receiving their credentials. Offering congratulations to each graduate are President and Vice Chancellor Dr. Deborah Saucier, Board Representative Megan DeRue-McConnon, GFC Vice Chair Raymond Buree, Provost and Vice President Academic Dr. Craig Monk, and for the first group, the Faculty's Dean Fred McGinn, and for the second group, Dr. Alan Gilliland, Dean of the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communication. Offstage to your right is MacEwan University alumnus Josh Morris, who will present each graduate with a gift on behalf of the MacEwan University alumni. The graduates will be led by the Student Award recipients for their respective faculties. The MacEwan University Big Band will perform musical selection for your listening pleasure as graduates are being assembled.
stay low, they'll never trail over my head. I'll be a devil till I'm an angel, but until then, hallelujah, gonna dance, gonna fly. I'll take a chance, riding high. Before my number's up, I'm gonna fill my cup. I'm gonna live, live, live till I die.
Another big hand for the big band. Some of them are doing double duty today. I now invite Dr. Fred McGinn, the Dean for the Faculty of Health and Community Studies, to come to the podium.
Good afternoon. Within each faculty and school at MacEwan University, we recognize the students whose academic efforts have propelled them to the top of their class. The Dean's Medals are the highest academic honor that may be granted by a faculty and recognize the exemplary success of individual students within their area of study. One award may be granted in a certificate or diploma program, and one award in a degree program. This year's Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a Degree Program for the Faculty of Health and Community Studies is awarded to Shelley Marie Dugas, a graduate of the Bachelor of Applied Human Services Administration program. Come on out, Shelley. A little bit about the Bachelor of Applied Human Services program, for those of you that aren't aware. It's an online degree offered part-time to administrators working full-time across the health sector. Shelley works at Norquest College in the Practical Nurse program, where she is a maternity theory instructor and a clinical team lead. She's passionate about nursing and education. Shelley was an exceptional student, balancing school, work, spending time with her 3 children, and her 5 grandchildren. Her capstone project focused on developing new staff orientation and onboarding standardization process for the Practical Nurse program at Norquest. Shelley completed a comprehensive and standardized orientation package for new employees to the Practical Nurse program. And this package will support new clinical instructors, which in turn will provide consistency for students and support retention of qualified staff. Shelley's work was deemed professional, compelling, and inspiring. Please join me in congratulating our 2019 Dean's Medal recipient, Shelley Dugas. Now, I have the great pleasure to present to you the following graduates for degree, applied degree, diploma, and certificates in the Faculty of Health and Community Studies.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Social Work. Rola Ali Abu Harb. Jeslaine Ann Aguado. Fatima Ali with distinction. Ravneet Bajwa with distinction. Emily Jillian Barber. Samantha Rose Billick with distinction. Daniel Neil Cameron with distinction.
Zaina Marie Chad. Kristen Danielle Clubley. Elena Gale Drury with distinction. Michaela Joy Dubetz. Jade Alix Dubois. Christina Rachel Foreman with distinction. Brittany Dawn Gagnon with distinction. Cassidy Lillian Green with distinction. Dawit Adgu Habtu. Jean Esther Hansen.
Sherry Lee Lynn Heschel with distinction. Ashley Cheryl Ann Halekwa with distinction. Joanna Beth Jean Jane. Allison Jane Carpo with distinction. Kirsten Ann Kupsch with distinction. Brendan Lindsay with distinction. Deborah Elizabeth Lynham with distinction.
Rebecca Leanne Lynch. Kelly Michelle McRae Seifert. Marilyn Rose McCran McLean with distinction. Nafisa Abdurrahman Moalim with distinction. Erica Lorraine Moore with distinction. Jacqueline Noreen Moore with distinction. Marie Goretti Nirakiri.
Jaspreet Parmar. Hazel Hijiri Rainey with distinction. Curtis Roy Rempel with distinction. Dahlia Riley with distinction. Gabriel Aramis Rodil with distinction. Madame Saidi with distinction. Eob Mesvin Siyum.
Pralad Sharma. Kiera Don Solomon with distinction. Victoria Dorothy Svanda. Deethra Alexa Telu with distinction. Brianna Rose Webster. Iseti Weredi Weldegabrel with distinction. Jisoo Yoon with distinction.
Eric Michael Hewson with distinction. Bethlehem Teye Zawidi with distinction. Lastly, and now presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Applied Human Service Administration. Annette Ruth Hammermaster. Sizani Maposa. Karen Margaret Roney. Jennifer Arlene Sibald, lastly.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Social Work Diploma. Huzia Mahamoud Abdi. Satanai Nidal Abzak. Temi Ololadi Adebisi. Krista Blair Auger.
Odai Kwesi Boaboteng. Jenna Claire Bath. Najela Bado Kaspa. Skylar Castleman. Austin Kwok Yen Chan. Nathan David Collins with distinction. Destiny Valentina Corceles Herring. Rolanda Marie Coria.
Jessica Mary Cronshaw. Emily Marise Dompierre with distinction. Brittany Catherine Ecksted. Julie Anna Fagan. Katie Lorraine Frank. Chelsea Mariana Gamaro. Marilyn Nancy Jane Gargas. Bezrat Gabriel Selassie.
Paige Victoria Gorman. Brittany Kathleen Hallett. Blair Alexander Harrison Reed. Shannon Olivia Heaney with distinction. Kip Matthew Hildebrand. Sarah Hocho. Amanda Louise Hawley. Elisha Aaron James. Jameson Andrew Jenks.
James.
Kirsten Shirley Kapak. Gagandeep Kaur. Manpreet Kaur. Kayla Jane Kegler. Mike Kikabi. Bailey Kim Locke. Robert Joseph McIsaac. Marissa Leah Mayak. Jennifer Frances McDonald Robinson. Lily Joan McFadden.
Ikari Mill. Elsie Kombe Hindu. Miranda Nkamalo. Taiwo Rachel Oladunjoy. Alex Sebastian Haikada. Stephanie Ann Helen.
Delia Elizabeth Peary with distinction. Jace Renee Power. Dawn Lynn Ray. Elisa Jade Scammell with distinction. Leanne Michelle Singh with distinction. Murray Peter Steele. Jonalyn Faith Tamayo with distinction. Hilary Tien Trang Tan. Aminat Odonola Tijani.
Rebecca Watt. Dakota Janae Weeks with distinction. Jaden Delaney Wickman. Brooke Lynn Wilchuck, lastly. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Special Needs Education Assistant Certificate. Marnie Ellen Babineau. Ronoti Basu. Erin Jennifer Baudet with distinction. Taylor May Brophy. Paula Elaine Budzak.
Cecilia Sasidevi Castor. Tatiana Selemin. Narissa Conradi with distinction. Selby Ann E. Jamalovich, with distinction. Megan Alexa Eliason. Kendra Lee Evertson Ladouceur.
Cheyenne Jacqueline Fenton. Victoria Raylyn Franklin. Michelle Ann Gardner with distinction. Ramandeep Kaur Gill. Valentina Herrera Lalinde. Yamila Abdelrahman Jabber. Shannon Lowe Joy. Julia K. Marchand.
Stefania Mastrangelo. Ingeborg Gabby Miranda Moran. Alana K. Moeller. McKenna Sheridan Monzes. Carly Elizabeth Nichols. Erin Kimberly Peacock with distinction. Justin Craig Potter McSwain with distinction. Jocelyn Diana Pasikla with distinction.
Jessica Nicole Robertson. Sarah Ann Rout. Badi Adele Sadak. Megan Simone Samardzik with distinction. Dulanjani Hamali Walikala. Yi Li Zhang, lastly.
It is. At this time, I invite President and Vice Chancellor, Dr. Deborah Saucier, to come to the podium.
MacEwan University Convocation recognizes and celebrates the academic achievements of graduates. Among the medals and awards presented at Convocation is the President's Medal for Academic Excellence and Student Leadership, which recognizes both academic achievement and contribution to enhancing student experience at MacEwan University. This year's President's Medal recipient is a diploma program, is awarded to Brooke Langmaid. Brooke, would you come out? Brooke Langmaid's passion for design is apparent not only in her academic performance, she's a top student, but also in the many ways she is an ambassador for her program in the university. Brooke is an engaged, curious, and professional student who pushes herself to excel and through respectful critique, a positive attitude, and thoughtful collaboration encourages her peers to do the same. It's one of the many ways she exemplifies what it means to be a student leader. As an executive member of the MacEwan Design Students Association since 2015, she has directed and organized several student-focused events, including a student-led design conference and portfolio show. Brooke is among the first to raise her hand to volunteer and take part in activities on campus, including the university's open house and Student Research Day. She's also quick to inspire those who are interested in following the same path, sharing her goals and challenges with participants in the design program's Student for a Day initiative and as a speaker at junior high career days. But it's her generosity with her time that is not only limited to MacEwan, as Brooke has embraced the opportunity to work with a mentor from the Advertising Club of Edmonton and volunteered her time to create an award-winning awareness campaign for a local nonprofit organization. In short, Brooke epitomizes the commitment to academic achievement and community service the President's Medal for Academic Excellence and Student Leadership presents. She is, in fact, an example of what it means to be a MacEwan student. For that, I am pleased to award Brooke Langmaid the President's Medal for Academic Excellence and Student Leadership.
Deb. Thank you, Dr. Saucier, and congratulations to Brooke. I now request Dr. Alan Gilliland, Dean for the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications, to come to the podium. And don't touch the hair.
I was just glad the hair was real when he touched it. That would have been embarrassing, wouldn't it? This year's Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a degree program for the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communication is awarded to Shannon Lee Delaney, a graduate of the Bachelor Communications Studies program. Shannon, please come up. Much deserved attention right there. As a full-time student in the Bachelor of Communication Studies degree program, Shannon Delaney is an exemplar graduate. During her studies, she demonstrated a strong, dedicated, and conscientious focus on completing her degree with distinction, achieving high academic levels in her work and projects. As a student, Shannon was boundless in her energy, curiosity, questioning, and exploration of all things regarding communication. Her participation in conversations both in and outside the classroom was excellent. However, what is remarkable at Shannon is that she was engaged in many other activities while studying, including being a contributing member of the program's Student Advisory Committee. Additionally, while studying full-time, Shannon was a part-time naval reservist. Yeah, cool, eh? And a year-round commuter cyclist. We heard all sorts of harrowing stories at lunch about her commuting to college on her bike in the middle of winter in Edmonton. She's a lifelong learner, a sustainability seeker, a River Valley rover. In other words, Shannon has found many ways to demonstrate her passion for life and learning through her studies, her incredible interest in sustainable practices, and her need to explore the world. Please join me in congratulating Shannon. This year's Dean's Medal for Academic Excellence in a Diploma Program is from the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications, is awarded to Laura Catherine Wonderly, a graduate of the Design Studies program. Laura, could you please come up? I met Laura today at lunch, and I also met her son, Noah, who is 2 weeks old. Oh, yeah, so congratulations to you. And if that's not enough to keep her busy, she had her first child during her second year of her design diploma. And so she has balanced a family life with a high GPA and incredible achievements while being a student and a mother. Laura was a wonderful student that excelled in every area of design. She's particularly interested in print media, particularly books and magazines. And she's going to return in the fall to complete the degree program, which is launching for the very first time this fall in FEFAC, so good luck with that. All of her teachers said she was a model student and a pleasure to teach. Please join me in congratulating Laura. I now present to you the following graduates for degree, applied degree, diploma, and certificate in the Faculty of Fine Arts and Communications.
And now, presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Communication Studies. Katrina May Atkinson. Michaela Rayanne Bishop. Joshua Taylor Dakin. Victoria Audrey Jacqueline Dean. Zachary James Dean. Rajan Singh Dhaliwal. Melbourne Marvin Disbrow. Kira Gabrielle Drogue with distinction.
Kelly Patricia Eistetter. Derek Bruce Ferry with distinction. Kaylin Maura Flanagan with distinction. Lydia Jane Fleming with distinction. Jordan Roland Paul Garcia. Levi Chance Gojerla. Renee Joanna Guylet. Goulayat. Brenna Martine Haber. Johanna Cecilia Halarevich with distinction. Janelle Alana Jensen. Brendan Thomas Gerald Kuzma.
Colby Jane Lachance. Jordan Gabrielle Lariviere. Brett Allen Litke. Kaylee Emily Mackay. Danica Shea McConnell. Ryan James Robert McMillan. Monaco Lauren Alexandra Moore with distinction. Avi Christine Morrow. Lacey Page Morris. Bailey Jessica Nitti. Aaliyah Ann Austri. Christopher John Penwell.
Quinton Paul Phillipson.
Oh my God. Oh God.
Brianna Lena Pilkington. Timothy Naveed Peter Rauch. Natasha Alexandra Raymond. Michaela Helen Ream. Jessica Jade Violet Robb. Gina Bethany Schopfer. Marina Charlene Shenfield with distinction. Paige Felicia Simpson with distinction. Alicia Katerina Slusarchuk. Garrett Ross Stanczak with distinction.
Hiram Scott Sutton with distinction. Kate Elsie Seaman Tober. Samantha Elizabeth Watson Penner. Carmen Catherine Wiggins. And lastly, Riley Thomas Orest Whittier. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Bachelor of Music in Jazz and Contemporary Popular Music. Timothy James Anderson. Samantha Claire Bachman. Taylor Ann Bramo with distinction. Victoria Josephine Burt.
Hazel Grace Kavita. Andrew James DeMunick with distinction. Alex Downey. Émilie Louise Dufour. Patrick Michael Froese with distinction. Rachel Helena Gleddy with distinction. Glenn Clifford Graham. Emily Michaela Greiber. Jonathan Ross Gunter. Sheila Darcy Herney. Morgan Monique Hutala.
Kayla Louise Kimo. Kiersey Aaliyah Marie Kolb. Jonah Carl Mallet. Jonathan Hector Pord. Marlou Jean Tan Saike. Riley Andrew Smith. Katrina Sosa, with distinction.
John Douglas Michael Spielman. Bernard Emile Springer. Cameron Steele. Connell Stinnison with distinction. Jessica Patricia Stokes. Kevin Brent Supa. Brandon Connor Taves with distinction. Jillian Rose Treidler. David Unsworth with distinction. Samuel Martin Viselli.
And lastly, Vanessa Ann Wilson with distinction. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Arts and Cultural Management Diploma. Ronald Francis Walker, lastly. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Design Studies Diploma. Bola Shade, Jalin, Campbell, Bajwa. Haley Nicole Page Chiamento.
Jenna K. Lewis. Stephanie Francis Lumino with distinction. Pan Hugh Wing. Madison Jane North. Brody Rollier. Sharisha Sonnenberg, lastly. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Fine Art Diploma. Lily Chen. Lucy Alexandra Cook. Marcel Jean Girard.
Kaylee Caitlin Grace Hardstaff. Alejandra Cecilia Hernandez. Crisia Ivana Irahita. Carolyn Elaine Virginia Lassiter. Alyssa Jenny Markowski. Grace Kathleen Papineau Couture. Ariadna Georgina Pasaran Ugarte with distinction.
Preston August Pavlis with distinction. Sebastian Gonzalez Profete. Emily Sean Storvold with distinction. And Robin Wolfert lastly. And now, presenting graduates receiving the music diploma. Sandra Ray-Jen Shi Dodsworth. Ian William Stewart. And Anthony Woloshin lastly. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Theater Arts Diploma. Dempsey Cameron Gordon Bolton. Kevin Adam Cambridge.
Lindsay Heather Bonnie Downs. Jeffrey John Howard Frank. Aaron McConnell. Kendra Lee Sargent. Kristen Ann Schaefer. Jared Lawrence Smith. Elizabeth Carolyn Turner. And lastly, Hannah Odadaka Zacharko. And now, presenting graduates receiving the Theater Production Diploma. Caitlin Alicia Argueta.
Ashley Marguerite Davies. Darren Charles Thomas Dick. Christopher Patrick Komineski. Jamie Lee Renee Levers. Caitlin Johanna Lund. Dorian Oliver Lyon. Taylor Hope Ricky. Brianna Lynn Thomas. And now, last,
But certainly not least,
Alexia
Eva
Jean
Walsh.
Congratulations to all our award winners and to our graduating class of 2019. I now ask Josh Morris, alumni representative, to provide a welcome to you, our newest members of the MacEwan University alumni family.
Thank you. I get so much energy from you guys coming across the stage, and you all look so excited for your accomplishments, and that fuels me for months after that, so thank you. So on behalf of MacEwan alumni, I am honored to be among the first to congratulate you on your incredible achievement. Today you have graduated, and today you have become MacEwan alumni. Now you may wonder, what does it mean to be MacEwan alumni? It means you should be very proud of the company you keep. There are over 60,000 MacEwan alumni working hard every day to make a difference in their professions and in their communities. Not only here in Edmonton, but around the world. Like them, you have faced many challenges over your academic career so far, and you should be very proud of where you are now. You will face new and exciting challenges very soon, and I am happy to tell you that the university and we, your fellow alumni, are eager to support and encourage you in whatever challenges you decide to take on next. You may be ready to jump right into your career. You may choose to continue on your academic journey with further studies, or maybe you're going to travel the world. Whatever you decide, we want to be there with you. That cannot happen unless we know what you're up to. So get in touch with the alumni office, share your accomplishments, ask us for help. We want to continue this journey together. Being MacEwan alumni also means you have the opportunity to play a role in the future of the university. It's students and our community, so please stay involved, weigh in on big decisions, help guide the strategic direction of this great institution. You've been around for a while now. You get it. You know what makes MacEwan special, and you know better than anyone how it should move forward, and we want you to share that insight. After today, many more students will follow in your footsteps. Invite them into your network, mentor them, share your wisdom, and support their education by contributing to scholarships, and use your experiences to help them succeed. That is the best way that we can keep our community strong and connected. You can start today by visiting the alumni booth after the ceremony. You can pass on some advice to the next class and get one of the keepsake silver tassels by supporting the Alumni Legacy Fund. Congratulations, class of 2019. We are so thrilled to have you as a part of our MacEwan alumni family.
Thank you, Josh. It gives me great pleasure to be able to thank the many volunteers that have worked so hard to make this convocation a success. You've seen them helping you all day. It's great. Thank you. So for the recession, the stage party exits first, followed by today's graduates. We ask that the audience wait until all graduates have exited the hall before leaving. Thank you. I now ask Board Representative Megan DeRue McConnon to close convocation.
Thank you, David. So I have the best part. This brings us to the closing moments of our ceremony, after which graduates and their families are invited to join us for refreshments in the foyer. But before you leave, I want to remind you that even though this marks the end of your academic program at MacEwan, it's only the beginning of your educational journey. As you go out into the world, I encourage you to keep an open mind and an open heart towards learning new things and look for opportunities to learn wherever you go. Learning is one of the greatest joys life has to offer, and I hope you always value it. Of course, learning is never done in isolation. It's the people around us who encourage us, challenge us, and motivate us as we continue to grow. So at this time, I would like to invite all the graduates to express their appreciation to the people who have supported them throughout their educational journey. Would the faculty members please rise? Graduates, a round of applause. You're not done yet. Hang on. Family and friends, would you please rise? Graduates, a round of applause. And now, in turn, I would like to invite our audience, faculty, and staff to join me in congratulating our graduates of 2019. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for being here today. Before I close this, the final ceremony of our Spring 2019 Convocation, I'd like to take a bittersweet moment to acknowledge our president, Dr. Deborah Saucier. This is Dr. Saucier's last convocation at MacEwan. Early next month, she'll be leaving Edmonton to assume the role of president and vice chancellor at Vancouver Island University. I want to thank Dr. Saucier for her many contributions to MacEwan. Her passion, her curiosity, her optimism, and her steadfast belief in the potential of this institution act as a bridge between the communities of which we are all a part of and that we serve, and has left an impact on us all. Dr. Monk, I would ask that you please present Dr. Saucier with a token of appreciation from all of us. And now, I officially declare Convocation closed.